Good evening and welcome to the Monday, August 10th, 2026 meeting of the Martinsville Common Council. Meeting is hereby called to order. At this time, if you would please stand for tonight's invocation and remain standing for our pledge. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come together this evening. We pray that you be with us and guide us as we discuss business for the city of Martinsville. And as we discuss the items on our agenda, Lord, we pray that you help us to realize how blessed we are to be able to come together openly and have these conversations. We thank you for loving us, and we thank you for the guidance that you give us. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Mayor, please call roll.
John Badger. Present. Susie Lips.
Present.
Ben Mahan.
Present.
Josh Farron.
Present.
Ann Miller.
Present.
Jonathan Collier.
Present.
Bill Deckard II.
Present.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Prior to tonight's meeting, you each received the minutes from the Monday, July 27th meeting. Are there any questions or comments on those minutes?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the minutes as presented this evening. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. Likewise, you received the claims to review prior to tonight's meeting. Are there any questions or comments for the claims?
Again, Ann Miller makes a motion that we approve the claims as presented.
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the claims as presented this evening. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion carries. Before we get into new business, we have a report again from the clerk's office. Mr. Meredith?
So Mrs. Polson's going to actually do the presentation tonight. So as promised to the council, we're going to be doing a monthly update of each area that we cover as an office. Last time Stacy Williams did that on accounts receivable. Terry's going to be doing that tonight on accounts payables and your appropriations. So Terry's been with us for a little over 12 years. She started back when she was 29 years old, so she's been with us for 12 years now, and I'll let her do hers.
Okay. Well, I was going to introduce myself. I had this really good speech.
Oh, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. For those of you that may not know me, my name is Terry Polston, and I am the accounts payable clerk at the clerk treasurer's office. Any questions? No, I'm just kidding. I'm basically here to give you a review of the day in the life of a claim. How it starts, the middle part, and the end. Basically, claims start off with our great yearly budget. We all know and love those workshops that we get to go to where we sit down and our people have come together to find out what they may need for the next year, and so we can get their money available. Once the claim, or it takes me just a second here, once the budget has been approved, then those funds are divided into what we call appropriations. Now, appropriations also have guidelines. Like, an appropriation starts, we'll just do MVH. It starts with 2201, which is the fund. The 012 is the department, which is MVH. And then the last three digits is where we can take items from. If it's in the 100s, it's normally a salary item. If it's in the 200s, it's a supply. If it's in the 300, I really do know this. If it's in the 300s, it's usually contractual services, And normally, if there's a 400 at the end of it, that is something that goes through like a capital outlay, something that we're going to build or whatever. So that's how it's kind of broke down. Now, here's how it happens. Our departments will go purchase something. They send their invoice to me, which I turn into a claim. But before that can become a claim, whoever they've chosen to do business with, I have to have a W-9. I also have to have, depending on what they're doing for our city, I have to have a certificate of insurance. So if they're doing a job where it may require, like, tearing something down or putting something back up, then I have to have a certificate of insurance. So if something goes wrong, we know they have insurance to back it up. If they don't have that, they're not supposed to do anything. These are really, really important items that I have to have. I don't like being a grouch about it, but I will call you till you go home and after supper, and then I'll text you. I have to have those items. I just do. It's very important. Other than that, there's just, like I said, everyone turns them in to me. I have some invoices that come to me electronically. We are just now starting to pay some stuff online. Whew, that's a good one. But I handed out like these little packets just so you could have a little bit of information how things run. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer. I mean, basically, that's the way everything goes. They're turned in, they come to my desk. Now, I will tell you that when a claim is turned into me, where that claim is going to be taken out of is already on there. That is not my decision. I cannot make that decision. I have to call whomever has turned that claim in and say, okay, where do you want me to take it from? Because I cannot make that decision. So once it gets to me, if they decide to take the phone bill out of the capital outlay, I can call them and suggest they can't do that, but that's not my decision. Now, sometimes I have to call in the big times, but sometimes you have to do that if someone is definitely trying to take something out of a line item that really shouldn't be taken out of. But normally that is not my decision. Does anybody have any questions?
And so what happens after we approve the claims?
Once you approve the claims, then they come back to me once everything's signed. And then now, through our new process of where we're sending the checks out to a third party, I send them through the process of being paid. Before, I printed all the checks out, stuffed them in the envelopes, put stamps on and mailed them. But now, with this new system, I basically go into the computer and get them set and ready, and I send them off to be printed. So, thank you. You're welcome. Anything else?
Do you find that the electronic is more beneficial for you and helpful to you compared to the?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, when it was first brought to me, I am not a big, I don't like change very well. So I was like dragging my feet all the way across the floor. It's like, I don't understand. I do this all the time. I've been doing it for 12 years. I know how to do it all. But once we got started with it, and you can see the efficiency of it, it's like, man, why weren't we doing this 4 years ago? So, you know, there's good and bad in everything that we try. This so far has turned out to be, I feel like, a very good service. I really like it.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? No? Well, if you don't have any more questions, phew, thank goodness I'm done. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
First item on the agenda tonight is first reading of ordinance 2026-1920, ordinance repealing chapter 66. Mr. Coffey.
So, as we talked a couple of months ago, we're in the process of going through our ordinances to see what might need to be cleaned up, what might need to be repealed, what don't apply anymore. And we found an old ordinance on an open burn that we used to have here in the city. Actually, it's still in the books, but it's been replaced by the new fire ordinance that we implemented a couple of years ago under Chapter 38 of the Municipal Code. So the old one, which is Chapter 66, Article 2, Section 37, needs to be repealed as has been superseded by Chapter 38 of the new Municipal Code. So this is the first reading on that. There was some discrepancies involved in the wording of both of those. So the new one should apply, and just asking you to take a look at that if you get a chance, and we'll address this on second reading 2 weeks from now.
Any questions for Mr. Coffey at this time?
I do have one. So it looks like the one pertaining to open burn, is that Chapter 38, Article 10, Division 1, Section 38-283? Is that the one that's kind of that one was the one pertaining to open burning?
Chapter 38 is the new one. Was in it's in Chapter 38. That is the new, I say new, it's been about 2 years ago that the council put in a new comprehensive fire ordinance.
Gotcha. So we're dropping Chapter 66 and keeping the Chapter 38 one?
That's correct.
So, Chapter 66, when looking at it, I felt was more straightforward, kind of than the 38 one. Do you know why we're switching to the Chapter 38? Because it had a lot more kind of
It has a lot
sections
more,
within it.
mainly it has a lot more penalty provisions under the Chapter 38 than we had under Chapter 66.
Okay.
So if someone violates it, we now have the ordinance that controls what the penalties are for that and what the fines are.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, if nothing else, this next item is the first reading of ordinance 2026-1921, establishing Maple Hills PUD. Mr. Coffey, do you want to say anything on this before we ask Cheyenne to come forward? Or?
The only thing I'll add is that this came before the Plan Commission at their meeting in July, and it was approved unanimous vote. So we have a representative from Four Star here this evening, Cheyenne Hoffa, to introduce this for you.
Good evening, Mayor Costin and Common Council. I appreciate your time this evening to hear first reading of the proposed Maple Hills PUD ordinance. I have a PowerPoint here. I think you guys already have it, though. Mac probably skips it. I'll smooth the other Mac. But so I wanted to introduce ourselves. As I know you guys have seen me a couple times in the last few weeks. So I'm Cheyenne Hoffa. I'm the entitlements manager with Four Star Group. Four Star Group is a residential land developer. We're not a home builder. We develop residential lots and sell them to a variety of homeowners throughout Indianapolis and the larger United States. You know us from Hannah Farms, is the neighborhood that we have developed in Martinsville so far, which has been a great community that we are building with Arbor Homes, is the home builder there. This new site, we brought through annexation way back in December of last year. And at that time, when you saw the site plan, there was access onto 252. So the site plan has changed. We are now having an entrance proposed off of State Road 44 to the north and no entrance onto State Road 252. I heard a lot of concerns about that entrance onto 252, and even driving it myself, I definitely see that those concerns were valid. So we've worked with Faith Church to the north to purchase a portion of their ground to give us access up to 44. So in total, the site's going to be about 74.2 acres. The roadway on Faith Church will not have any homes. It'll just be kind of a thoroughfare to get down to our neighborhood. There'll be a retention pond up front, but it gives us access back to this really beautiful site with rolling hills that has a lot of existing trees around the site. We're proposing 159 lots, 50-foot wide lots. So if you're thinking about Hannah Farms, there's 2 lot sizes there. This is the larger of those 2 lot sizes. Will be the entirety of the lot. These lots will all be one size at 50 foot wide. I have some home elevations from our two largest home building partners. So D.R. Horton is actually a majority stock owner of 4-Star Group, so they develop on the majority of our lots. And so I have some elevations proposed from them, as well as Arbor Homes, as they're already building in Hannah Farms. They also have great interest in this site. So we typically are going to contract with a builder around the time that we start construction, so we're still a few months off on that if we would be approved, before we determine who that home builder would be. But whether it's Horton, Arbor, or another home builder, they would have to follow the text of the PUD. And working with Mayor Costin and staff, we have also upped some of the brick requirement for these homes. So to kind of give this an upper, make it feel like a little bit of a higher scale neighborhood than Hannah Farms. It also has really great opportunities for lot premiums because of the wooded area that surrounds the exterior of the site. So that really helps in terms of, boosting those home prices because they have a lot premium with those opportunities. So there's, though these lots are all 50-foot wide, the PUD text still does allow for a 30-foot wide home, which would be like what you're seeing on the 40-foot lots, the Arrival series that Arbor is building there. However, again, those lots will have to have brick on the front, and half of them will have to have a wainscot around the entirety of those smaller homes. And then the larger homes will have to have 50% of them will have to be at least 50% brick. Those remaining will have to have the brick wainscot on the front of those homes. I'm leaving as a residential land developer and not a home builder. We try to cast a wide net. Arbor has had great success with the Arrival series. They were really proud of it. This was kind of their groundbreaking for that product line, and they invited planners from around the state to come and see it down here in Martinsville. They have not confirmed that they would do the Arrival series on these 50-foot wide lots, but we like to try to leave some flexibility for our home builder partner when they've had such success down here with those lots. This community will be maintained by an HOA. There will be a playground. That front pond will have a fountain, kind of as a nice entry feature into the neighborhood. But I am open to any questions that you guys might have. I know I'll be back here in a few weeks, but open to any questions, and my contact information is also included in the application if you have some in the meantime between then and now.
Did you come to an agreement with the Allens as far as fencing and?
So looking through the UDO, a barbed wire fence is not going to be allowed per city ordinance to be built. At Plan Commission, we had a neighbor that is adjoining to the woods to the west there, on our western property line, that had some concerns and was seeking a barbed wire fence between properties. We would not be seeking to build a barbed wire fence, but we would be willing to put up signage that would indicate, no trespassing and etc. There are some homes on that State Road 252 lane that back up to the woods that they own that are not protected by a barbed wire fence or anything like that. So that is what we've offered to the council and to the property owners there. But a barbed wire fence is just not something that I think that would get approved by the city or something that we'd like to put on our property line in the rear of those homes.
So we're just talking about signage then?
Mm-hmm. Signage along either, most likely it would probably follow the wood line and not be at our actual property line. That would be within the wood line. But yes, signage is what we are offering at this time.
I have a question in regards to, so you said you're not sure yet if they're gonna do like two different types of housing styles. That's not been confirmed yet.
It's not been confirmed that the PUD allows for
Yeah.
that, and so no, it could be a mix of them all. What I would probably see if I were the home builder, the exterior lots as those larger home plans and the interior lots that back up to one another as the smaller lots or the smaller home product, the lot size will be the same. So if it is the smaller home, the lot will be the same, and then they'll just be a larger lot that
Gotcha.
they're on there.
Then do you know off the top of your head the side setbacks for like the Hannah Farms areas? Are they also 5 feet?
Yep, they're also 5 feet. So that follows along similar to the Hannah Farms PUD with that 5-foot side yard setback.
Gotcha. With the preliminary of the upper portions of the house being vinyl?
Yes, so the remaining home building material would be vinyl. We, again, worked with Mayor Costin and town staff to give a thickness of that vinyl to make sure that it's not just, you know, the typical 90s vinyl that I think a lot of people think of when they think of a vinyl home, and the, you know, holes in the siding where the rock hits it from the mower and et cetera. So we've agreed to some thicker vinyl to hopefully quell those concerns that we've had.
Gotcha. Would there be any interest of potentially increasing the setbacks, the side setbacks to say 10 feet? Because I feel like 5
Yeah, so
is pretty narrow.
the 5 foot is like from the home to the property line, so
Mhm.
between homes is 10 feet.
Yeah.
So as of right now, we're seeking 5 feet. I think the ordinance is 6 feet is the minimum. I had a cheat sheet last time I was here, and I do not have it with me tonight of the difference between the UDO and your ordinance, but I know we've talked, part of the reason that we were interested in proposing 40-foot lots on a portion of this site, and speaking with the mayor and as well as the staff from the fire department, that their largest concern was with those 40-foot lots.
Correct.
That they did not like those, they did not want to see any more of those because of their concern of fire, so they were not concerned with the 50-foot lots, even though the side yard setback is the same. So that's kind of how we landed here to try to quell the concerns, was to remove those 40-foot wide lots, which I think just kind of puts more massing. You know, you have more density, so more opportunity for, you know, hopefully one house doesn't catch and then, you know, those around it have less of those around. But that's how we landed on the 5-foot side yard setback there.
So there will not be any 50-foot, only 40 and 30?
No, so the home product will be 40-foot wide, because the lot is 50-foot, 5 yard on each side, so the maximum width of the home will be 40 feet wide on a 50-foot wide lot. And so the lot size will be 50 foot throughout the community. The home product size can go down to 30 feet wide, if so, you know.
So you're using both builders, is that correct?
No, so
Horton and-
we're not sure who the builder will be. Typically, like, Hannah Farms is a good example of what would be designed kind of more as a 2-builder neighborhood, even though only one builder is building there, kind of a 2-product line neighborhood. So this one will most likely be one builder because it's one lot size with one entrance. We have interest from D.R. Horton, Arbor, and a few other home builders. We have some contractual obligations to D.R. Horton in terms of offering those lots to them first. So in my crystal ball, I see it either being D.R. Horton or Arbor on these lots, but we don't go to contract until closer to when we close on the ground.
And are these the specific, it looks like they've got four examples of the 30 and 4 of the 40. These are the ones they're going to be using?
Yeah, so the only one that I would say, just the picture itself is on page, I think it's 7 here, Maple Hills, proposed 30-foot product, D.R. Horton. The 2 that are catty-corner to each other that don't have any brick on the front, those would be required to have that brick wainscot on the front of those. But otherwise, yes, these are the proposed product for both Horton and Arbor.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You did say that, oh, so sorry.
No, go ahead.
So you did say that you did speak with the fire department and they expressed confidence that the 10 feet apart would be sufficient enough for any wind gusts or anything about that?
They felt comfortable with the 50-foot lot and the 10-foot aggregate side yard setback there.
I was gonna ask Mac, do we currently have water and sewer running out to that,
Yes, across the highway,
go underneath?
near where the cell tower is, and today they broke ground, extending that water and sewer. Of course, it can only go to their property. And then depends on what you all do, then they rest from there. But yes, we are extending that approximately 2,200 linear feet, water and sewer. And the nice thing, the mayor was able to use a grant. So it's not gonna cost you a penny.
Thank you.
And then that sewer is a forced main, so we would be building a lift station on site to serve the site with that extended forced main sewer.
And Shine, I think if you would explain, like on page, I'll call it 11 in your booklet here, how you're not going to have duplicate houses.
Oh, yes, so sorry.
I think that's
Yeah.
important.
As part of the Plan Commission favorable approval in the PUD text, page 11, Exhibit C, we've included some anti-monotony standards to help ensure that the same house with the same color is not built right next to each other. So this gives some requirements to the home builder to break that up, that, you know, the homes in the vicinity of, you know, 3 lots on each side and across the street, that they don't have the same color and floor plan front elevation there, so that it kind of helps with the streetscape being a little bit more diverse, which is fairly common in a lot of municipalities that I've seen, so we were more than happy to add that to our PUD text.
One more question. Kind of touching on what Councilman Collier said, is the fire department, do they seem like they're okay with just the one entrance,
Yes, so
timing-wise?
we've talked with the fire department again, as we indicated last time, and originally we're on 252, and so we've moved up to 44, and if you see that, the entrance is boulevarded throughout, and that is what the solution that we've come to with the fire department, so that if one lane is blocked, then there's another separate lane that has the median that will be planted and maintained by the HOA, that gives them that kind of secondary access, even though it's one road. Good question, I apologize for not touching on that.
Mayor, okay, so since the planning commission has happened, so what has come down to between the Allen's property and the property for the Maple subdivision? It's just going to be signs?
Well, I'd be careful how I say this. The Allen property is not city limits.
Right.
This Maple Hills is city limits, and if they decide to put signs up, that's their prerogative. If Allen's want a fence on it, that would be up to them.
Okay. So
In my opinion, and Council, I may be wrong, but that's, you know, asking to put a barbed wire fence up is a little extreme.
So that would be on the Allens to do that?
Yeah, our city ordinance does not allow barbed wire to be used. It's certainly a liability issue. And the Plan Commission did not make that a condition of their recommendation to the council. If the Allens who are actually in the county would like to put a fence up, then that's up to them, I suppose, as long as they follow the county ordinance.
What bothers me is that the Allens do hunt on their property, as they stated in the planning commission meeting, and that's a little worrisome to me, with them hunting on their property. I was when I agreed to approve this, I was thinking that there would be some sort of fencing.
But if you're hunting, and I'm not hunting for many years, so, but you're always mindful, where are there any houses or anything? And just because you put up a fence, and if I shoot that away, that fence isn't going to stop my bullet.
No, you have to have so many feet from it and can't shoot in that direction, so they still have to follow the laws
Yeah.
on there. So even though they can hunt, you still, even if you're hunting in the country, you still have to abide by the laws and the footage and the direction you aim and shooting from the roadway, and that all applies everywhere, so. It would be no different than anywhere else.
discussed with Washington Township Fire Department on any of this, since, because this is in the city, this new proposed subdivision, but theoretically, I mean, this is almost right across the street from Washington Township's Fire Department, so the city of Martinsville would still be first and responsible for the fire for this, fire
Yes.
services? Got it.
But it's, most of that is mutual aid, so 9 times out of 10, they're both going to be there together. I'd like to thank Councilman, Mr. Darnell for adding the part about the repetition of the colors. We really appreciate that.
Okay. If there's no further questions for Cheyenne, here again, this is just the first reading. We'll have second reading on our next meeting. Thank you, Cheyenne.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Any comments from the council this evening?
I'm just happy to see, I'd like to applaud the park for having their, the splash pad open until closing time, is that correct? That's really good. I'm glad to see that, especially with this hot weather. It's very nice.
Any comments from the public? If not, Sandy, you've come up with a date when we're going to have the special meeting for the Plan Commission, correct?
For the training
Yes.
workshop, it will be September 22nd at 5:30. And I encourage the council members, the Plan Commission, and the BZA members to be there. We want it to be well attended. KK is, she wrote the book on planning and zoning. She's one of the top people in the state. She is going to have at the training workshop. She is retiring, so we're kind of lucky to be able to get her at such a late notice, but she is going to come in and hopefully we'll learn, everyone will learn something extra.
And she was here, what, 2-3 years ago?
I think it's almost
Back in
two.
So,
Jim says two.
very, very instrumental and very educational purpose. So again, I'm just bringing it up so the council knows September 22nd at 5:30. If you could spare a couple hours, it'd be well worth your time. So that way you know kind of what the Plan Commission, what their role in all of this is. Next regular meeting will be on Monday, August 24th, 7 o'clock here in the chambers. We are adjourned.
And